Welcome back, everyone. Are we going to war with Venezuela? In many respects, Venezuela is already at war with us, sending drugs, fentanyl, gang members, evildoers into our country to wreak havoc on America. In many respects, they are waging war on us. But are we going into a kinetic war with Venezuela? I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because if we wanted to take out Maduro and his regime, it would take literally no time flat at all. And I don't think they would have much of an ability to hit us back. President Trump was asked about this on 60 Minutes.
Because I don't talk to a reporter about whether or not I'm going to strike. I'm not going to, you're a wonderful reporter, you're very talented, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with Venezuela, if I was going to do it or if I wasn't going to do it.
Why do we need an aircraft carrier and strike group out?
It's got to be somewhere.
Okay.
It's a big one.
Don't you love the way he responds? First off, he tells us she's a brilliant reporter. I'm not sure she is. I thought she was a little out of line during that interview. But it's a big one. That's a wink and a nod to Maduro. Don't mess with America. Here's why. Another drug boat hit. If you are a pilot of one of these boats, okay, do you really want to be taking that boat to America right now with Trump hitting you as a narco-terrorist deserves to be hit, being blown out of the water? I don't think so. So Maduro is a very, very bad guy. We know that. Regime change, I'm not convinced. This is Trump again.
Are Maduro's days as president numbered?
I would say, yeah. I think so, yeah.
And this issue of potential land strikes in Venezuela, is that true?
I don't tell you that. I mean, I'm not saying it's true or untrue, but I wouldn't.
Why would we
I wouldn't
do
be
it?
inclined to say that I would do that, but because I don't talk to a reporter about whether or not I'm going to strike.
So he did say his days are numbered. Now, why would that be? Maybe it's because of the resistance inside Venezuela. I think it's up to the people for a regime change, but I fully support what President Trump is doing about wiping out these narco-terrorists coming to America. So Marjorie Taylor Greene was on with Steve Bannon last night on our fabulous election coverage. I hope you were watching. I had a blast taking part in it. This is what she had to say about all that.
Well, I just have to say, I have full faith and confidence in our great men and women in our military. And I believe that they have intel that we don't have, and they know what they're doing. However, I don't believe in regime change. I don't believe that we should be engaging in war, period. I'm totally against wars. I believe in fully protecting our borders and our people, but I don't think that we need to go out and attack other countries.
So I understand where Marjorie Taylor Greene is coming from, and I certainly respect her opinion. On this, I think there's more of a nuance to it. It's not that we're just going and attacking a country. This is a country that's literally been attacking us and waging war for a long time. Am I with her that I don't think we need to be sending Navy SEALs in and going in to Maduro's castle and taking them out? No, I don't think we need to be doing that. Hitting these drug boats, 100%. All right, with me now, 32-year U.S. Air Force combat veteran, Colonel Rob Maness is back with us. Colonel, it's great to have you on.
Hey, Grant. Well, the boss has learned a lot.
Yeah, hasn't he though? What's your thoughts on all of this with the thought about what we're doing with Venezuela right now?
Well, first of all, it's very serious business. We're talking about millions of American lives that have been lost because no U.S. Southcom commander or president of the United States as commander-in-chief has stood up years ago like they could have and said, we're going to blow these boats out of the water, whether they're coming from Venezuela or Colombia or anywhere else for that matter. The West Coast side of this is much greater than the Venezuela side. So this president of the United States, this secretary of war, this chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff see this threat for what it is, and they want to save millions of American lives. Think about it. They're killing upwards of between 70 and 100,000 Americans a year just with the fentanyl. So, that's not even counting the other types of drugs that cause overdoses in this country that are coming through. These ships,
Colonel,
these boats are in international waters. They're legitimate targets, just like pirates are.
I agree with you 100%. Here's the curious side of me. And I'm not questioning it all, other than the fact that I'm going to ask you, as a colonel, an Air Force combat veteran, why the aircraft carriers going in? Is that needed to hit the boats? Are we hitting the boats with fighter jets that are firing down, or are they cruise missiles that are coming down? Why the aircraft carrier, and how are we taking out the boats?
It just puts more assets in place, but it also sends a very, very big message to Maduro. And I'll remind the audience that Maduro is seen by most legitimate countries and nations as an illegitimate leader because he messed with the elections, and the actual opposition leader just got the Nobel Prize that she dedicated to the President of the United States. So there is opposition that is on the ground, ready to take their rightful and legitimate role as the leaders of this country and turn it away from communism like the Maduro regime has, and from this partnership with these narco-terrorist cartels. So it's very important for folks to understand that. There are also other things going on. I think this mission is threefold with regards to Venezuela. One is stop the boats from trafficking the fentanyl, and establish a deterrence that if you ride on the boat, you're gonna die more than likely. So don't do it. Number two, get Maduro out of that office that he doesn't hold legitimately, and he holds a stranglehold over the people of Venezuela and the government of Venezuela. And then number three, help return the government of Venezuela back over to its legitimate leaders and turn it back into a prosperous nation. It has the most oil of any country in the world. It used to be a very prosperous nation. We had great private companies there that were all taken over by the government, and now everybody is poor and starving to death unless you're one of the elite.
I remember I was friends with a Venezuelan back in the early 90s, and her father was a big-time executive for an oil company there, back and forth to America, and you know, I mean, they were making all kinds of money, but those days have changed. I mean, you know, that prosperous ability for private enterprise in Venezuela is basically all but gone. Real quick, because I want to play a soundbite from Maria Corina Machado, who you talked about winning the Nobel Prize. How are they hitting the boats? Is it missiles, or is it fighter jets, or is it missiles from the fighter jets?
Well, it's probably a combination of several different platforms. We've had B-1s down in the area. We have a lot of unmanned aerial vehicles down in the area. It's more than likely most of this targeting has come from unmanned aerial vehicles. They have really long loiter times, and so they can stay overhead and be ready when a boat shoots out in the open and we get it targeted.
All right, fascinating stuff. All right, Maria Corina Machado, she talked about putting pressure on Maduro. Listen to this.
I believe that the increase in pressure and the escalation that's taking place is the only way to force Maduro to understand that it's time to go.
What do you make of that?
There's a lesson in the fall of Syria, and Mr. Assad and his family, they were able to escape. Do you think that folks with the power, like the United States, didn't allow them to escape? Mr. Maduro could go live a long and happy life somewhere else and let the legitimate leaders of this country take over. He's just got to open his eyes and see that his days are numbered as the leader of that country.
All right, let me play one more from her, and then I'll let you go. You've been so good to us, Colonel. Here she is one more time.
Today, Venezuela is not simply governed by an authoritarian regime. It is controlled by a criminal structure that fuses state power and organized crime and narco-terrorist regime. It traffics in drugs, gold, arms, oil, and human suffering. It uses hunger as a weapon and exile as punishment.
I'll tell you what, Colonel, I like this woman, and she does this at great danger to herself, I assume. I'll give you the last word here.
Yeah, Grant, and she spells out exactly why the United States is taking the approach that it is. The narco-terrorist cartels are deeply embedded with the government of Venezuela under Maduro, and that is the problem. They are not only drug trafficking, they're human trafficking, they're trafficking in arms, they're trafficking in oil and energy, and all of it is not legitimate, and lives are at stake.
Yeah, and they know that their days are numbered with President Trump in office. That's for sure. Colonel Rob Maness, I appreciate you as always. You're a good man. Thank you.
Thank you, Grant.
Absolutely. I talked about the danger to Maria Corina Machado. This is in all of these countries south of our border. Anybody that seems to support President Trump right now seems to be a target by the cartels. I don't know if you heard about this mayor in Uruapan, Mexico. Mayor Asante, he's an outspoken supporter of President Trump. He's been pushing back against the cartels. He's been urging the Mexican government to hit the cartels and hit them hard. And you know what happened? The cartels hit him. They assassinated him. And this was a very well-liked guy, as you can tell, from Oscar Ramirez, who's our man on the ground inside Mexico, was very emotional over this assassination.
I feel so sad, This continues to happen in our country. The good guys are getting killed. And because they're trying to fight off and fight for us, and we feel that our voices are being silenced and that they're not helping us. Nobody's helping us today. The Mexican president in her morning conference said that she was not going to send the military.
You can see he's torn up. One of the reasons why I would assume Oscar is torn up is he is in Mexico. He's not an American citizen. He cannot come into this country right now. And so he's reporting on all of this for us because he actually loves America. He loves freedom and he wants his nation to experience it as well. And he does it at great risk to himself as well. They can kill the mayor. I don't even want to contemplate. I don't want to say it out loud what they can do to Oscar. Please pray for this man. He just wants law and order. Here's Oscar again, who was on with Bowling.
He said that he wanted Trump to come in or help, and he was right about, basically dismantling and destroying and eradicating the cartel. And just weeks before, he was making videos sending to the president of Mexico to say to her, I need protection. I need help. These people have bigger artillery than what we have in our government. We need help to fight them. We need help to combat them. And the president, because he's not part of her political party, never helped them.
All right, so here's what I want to do. Tomorrow night, we're going to get Oscar on because I want to talk about this with him. I want to talk about the danger he's in for reporting on this stuff. And this is important because this is also about the safety and security of Americans, specifically, quite frankly, folks, our children. All right, I know all of you aren't out there using fentanyl and smoking things that might be laced with fentanyl, but God forbid your kids get involved in this. I got a 16-year-old. God forbid he takes a vape that's laced with something. You tell him don't. But you never know what can happen. This is a war to save our children. All right? The White House did respond to all of this. This was Caroline Leavitt.
We are aware of that, and of course we condemn all political violence anywhere in all forms. As for Claudia Sheinbaum and the president's relationship with her, I think he has a lot of respect for her as president of Mexico, and he also really appreciates the coordination that she has provided to the Trump administration. I can't speak for her and what she's doing internally in her country. I can speak for the president in saying we are continually pushing Mexico to do more to tackle the drug trafficking and the drug cartels within their country.
So, look, the Trump administration has their eyes on it, no doubt about it. We got to rein in some of these countries that still continue to side with the cartels, side with China, Russia involved in all of this, and we got to rein it in. All right, we are getting very, very close to hop over to our Turning Point USA campus tour coverage live from Auburn University, which is brought to you by Birch Gold Group. All you have to do is text America to the number 989898 to get your free info kit and see how easy it is to diversify your IRA or 401k with gold. That's America to the number 989898. All right, despite last night's election results, President Trump rallied the troops today in Florida. We'll get to his speech to them next.